Welcome to the highlights of the show, where Laozu suddenly realizes that Dian Yujing has ditched him and teamed up with Jin Chenghen. So he offers Dian Yujing double the pay, but Dian flips out and gives him a beatdown instead, since Jin Chenghen is giving him all the profits. Jin Chenghen isn't in prison for a crime. He's there to do a favor for Laozu's boss, Mr. Rong. Mr. Rong can't stand to see Laozu living it up in jail, so he sends Jin Chenghen in to teach him a lesson, but Laozu's buddies with Dian Yujing. Jin Chenghen doesn't want to get his hands dirty, so he monopolizes the cigarette business and hands all the profits to Dian Yujing, hoping they turn on each other. Sure enough, sated, Dian Yujing abandons Laozu, his followers desert him, and even mini-boss Big Flower Coin sides with Jin Chenghen. Then Jin Chenghen sends in Big Flower Coin to take out Laozu, but lucky for our hero Hyunsoo, he's been keeping an eye out for trouble and spots him. Big Flower Coin attempts to sneak attack Laozu. Hyunsoo leaps in instantly, making Laozu see his prison reign has ended. The once mighty boss is now a drowning dog, and nobody follows Laozu anymore. Who would guess that in this moment, Hyunsoo comes to visit him so casually? Laozu is somewhat surprised. He's got nothing left, so the best he can offer Hyunsoo are tiny favors. Once Laozu hears this, he figures out that Hyunsoo is a well-behaved kid who always listens to his mother, and they are definitely not from the same mold. However, Hyunsoo reveals that he used to be a member of the Inchinjin gang. Laozu is a bit shocked. Who knew this delicate-looking guy could roll with a gang and was quite the joker. Finally, Hyunsoo asks Laozu for his phone, snaps a few pics, and rushes off to snitch on him for smuggling cigarettes. But shockingly, Hyunsoo loses his own phone while attempting to expose Laozu for smuggling. Soon, the lonely warden might end up as Laozu's cellmate. The warden shivers at the thought. So, he hastily hands over Jin Chenghen to Laozu to talk about karma. Laozu, knowing Jin Chenghen's fuming inside, gifts him a pair of stinky socks. But Laozu's cunning doesn't stop there. He instructs his men to heat up a pot of oil, hot enough to sizzle a steak. This is Laozu's special treatment for Jin Chenghen, all while clutching the stinky socks. Laozu asks why Jin Chenghen wants him dead, but Jin is tight-lipped. So Laozu presses, and one of Jin's underlings quickly spills the beans. He says Mr. Rong hired them, and in August they're expecting 50 kilos of good stuff. Take out Laozu and they get a third. Looks like Mr. Rong has picked Jin Chenghen as his new partner to dispose of Laozu. Chilling to hear. Since they came to kill him, Laozu couldn't leave any loose ends. Jin Chenghen ends up being fried alive, and Laozu regains his dominance in prison. All thanks to Hyunsoo's cleverness. Laozu leans on him more, and the two become fast buddies, doing everything together, even in the bathroom. They're inseparable on the surface, but behind the scenes, Hyunsoo reports all of Laozu's moves to Captain Kyan at the police. Captain Kyan tells Hyunsoo they've found a suitable match and can soon help his mom. Hyunsoo beams at the news. He can't help sharing this with Laozu, but Laozu can't relate to that joy. Laozu has been an orphan since childhood, no family, no friends, living a cold and ruthless life. Hyunsoo asks if he can tag along with Laozu when he gets out, which leaves Laozu in shock, as Captain Kyan has already kept his promise. After finding a suitable match for his mother, Hyunsoo wants to get close to Laozu to provide key intel to Captain Kyan, just testing the waters, but Hyunsoo notices Laozu is just acting chummy while keeping him at arm's length. In fact, Laozu has already assigned a Bing to investigate him. A Bing is Mr. Rong's nephew, but in Mr. Rong's eyes is only money, and he looks down on a Bing. Bing teams up with Laozu, who is being oppressed by Mr. Rong, often using visits as cover to provide insights into Mr. Rong's activities. But this time, a Bing discovers that Hyunsoo is actually an undercover cop planted by the police. Drug dealers hate undercover agents the most. A Bing urges Laozu to take out Hyunsoo, believing that dirty dealings are the safest path. Laozu has clawed his way through life outside for over 30 years using cold ruthlessness and caution. This time, he deliberately decides to ease up. A Bing is somewhat puzzled because he's the type to settle scores instantly, let those who cross him meet their end. Seeing Laozu come back from the edge in prison, a Bing wants to team up with him to deal with Mr. Rong, who's treated him like a dog, but Laozu hesitates. He knows better than to discuss such things with a Bing. Laozu is stuck in prison and still lacks solid footing outside. After he's out, he'll still need to lean on Mr. Rong, so he plays it cool. But he's no fool. Since Hyunsoo wants in, he's open to it. Laozu is naturally keen to accept this fresh blood, but still won't be caged in. Hyunsoo's fate. He's going to be entirely exploited by Lazu, who happily welcomes this new strength because big achievers can't afford to get too emotional. Of course, Hyunsoo's got Mom on his mind and listens to her too much, so Lazu decides to toughen him up. The next day, Hyunsoo's mom gets into a car accident, but he hears she suddenly fell ill and died despite treatment. Hyunsoo's world falls apart. In response to his pain, Lazu appears to empathize, but no one could have imagined. He is orchestrating this entire agony behind the scenes. Hyunsoo's agreement to go undercover was solely for his mom. Hyunsoo calls Captain Kine to handle his mom's affairs, but the captain disagrees. This time, they are sending in 2 undercover agents, but one gets spotted by a bang and is quickly dealt with. Now all intel rides on